Merry Christmas! Since the international release of TikTok in 2017, short-form content has been king of social media. In July of 2021, YouTube globally released YouTube Shorts, acting as a direct competitor to TikTok. And finally, since November 16th, 2023, I've released a Shorts Nuzlocke of Pokemon every year. The Shorts Nuzlocke is extremely simple. Same rules as a traditional Nuzlocke with just one catch. For every subscriber I gain, I spin a wheel, which is a 1 in 5 chance of killing the Pokemon I just caught. In 2023, I lost the Heart Gold Shorts Nuzlocke very early on, switching and ultimately beating Pokemon Platinum instead. A year later, I got to Elite 4 in Heart Gold, but lost to Lance. This year I needed to win. I needed to prove I could win a Nuzlocke no one else has ever attempted before. I needed to beat Heart Gold, but my own subscribers kill my Pokemon. I choose the girl, like always, naming her Tam. I choose Laron the Totodile as my starter, knowing its Ice Fangs will be extremely valuable against Lance and Claire's dragons. I name my rival Comet, and the wheel takes every encounter from me until I find Noah the Bellsprout, being mercifully spared by the wheel. Noah does instantly prove himself valuable, as he allows me to clear through the Sprout Tower, which would have been nearly impossible for just Laron. I also bring on a third member, the Protean the Mareep. Together, our motley crew clears the Sprout Tower, and the Protean saves Noah from being traded for Rocky the Onyx, taking out Falconer's birds nearly single-handedly. After our first gym battle, I catch and keep Killer Bee the Gyarados, becoming our fourth member. I move towards Azalea Town and for our second badge as well, catching and keeping both Red Dragon the Sandshrew and Orangutan the Slowpoke, giving us a team of 6 after 7 days worth of shorts. I clear through the Slowpoke well and challenge Bugsy, our second gym leader. I use both Laron and the Protean to clear out his 3 Pokemon, winning us another easy gym badge. I then have my second rival fight, using Laron and the Protean to deal damage and stall out his Bayleaf with Noah, allowing me to go through the Ilex Forest and towards our first genuinely hard fight of the game, Whitney. That Fat Cow and Miltank are really tough, but to better my chances, I catch and keep both High Noon the Nidoran female and Annie the Sunkern. High Noon makes it onto the team, and I face off against Whitney. She leads Clefairy and I lead with the Protean. I take out the Clefairy with both the Protean and Laron and lead off with Orangutan into Miltank. I attempt to use Yawn, but I get flinched by Stomp. I attempt a second time and get flinched a second time. She attempts to attract me, but Orangutan is married to the hustle, landing his Yawn as I bring in Nowohi for the Poison Powder. I take less than half on the switch and she consumes her berry. Now I just have to hope Nowohi lives and hits his Poison Powder. He lives and misses. I switch into Laron as she begins using Rollout. I miscalculate the damage, and Laron pays the price. Our starter becomes the first death of the Nuzlocke. I bring in Killer Bee, spamming bites until the cows come home, winning the fight. I lay Laron to rest in the box, bringing Red Dragon back onto the team. I advance, catching a Sudowoodo named Kalimpo and a Stantler named Zeldafan. While the loss of Laron, our starter, sucks, we do catch and keep Zeldafan, but on the way to have it take the seat of our newly deceased starter, I lose Noah to a random double battle. Frustratingly, I lay him down to rest as well. I do arrive in Ecruteak, catching and keeping Sableye the Farfetch'd. Now, finally, since the death of Laron, I have a decent team with some good diversity. I get the Surf HM for our 2 water types and make quick work of our third rival fight in the Burnt Tower. I defeat Morty easily with the Killer Bee Bite Sweep, utilizing my new surfing ability to evolve both Orangutan and High Noon into their final forms. I then start catching as many encounters as possible, getting to keep only Johan the Hoot Hoot, Mass Creep the Apom, but then something interesting happens on day 14. I head west of Ecruteak and go to Route 39, where I step in the grass and he appears. Raichu. I freak out. Ion's Shaw is leading the pack and she doesn't have any status moves. This Raichu will run away, meaning I have just one chance. I check my balls and select my one and only fastball and let it fly. And we succeed. I had a 1.598 chance of catching it, and Orange Oxide the Raichu is all mine. Somebody buy me a lotto ticket because our luck today is absolutely unbelievable. We really are making Shorts Nuzlocke history today. While I hope and pray and beg to keep Orange Oxide, it just wasn't meant to be, and I'm forced to release them with a heavy heart. Unfortunate, but this is an encounter I will never forget. Although, after our Raichu encounter, I do run back to Goldenrod and get to keep Carson the Eevee, and Brambridge the Staryu on the coast of Cyanwood, so things are still looking up. After catching Pokemon for 6 days straight, I start making story progress again, destroying Chuck with our newly evolved Brambritz the Starmie, get the potion for Ampharos, kill a shiny Gyarados, clear the Rocket hideout, and defeat Price easily with Brambritz and the Protean for another gym badge. I then immediately run out to go heal Jasmine's Amphi and defeat her with Ion's Shaw, getting us 7 out of 8 gym badges. Momentum does slow down though, as I have to go through the tedious Team Rocket takeover of Goldenrod City. I continue with the Rocket takeover of Goldenrod, moving into the Goldenrod tunnel basement to take out our freaky comment again. I lead the Protean into his Golbat, frying it with a critical Thunder Punch. Out next is Sneasel, which gets washed by 1 critical Surf from Orangutan. Third is Meganium, bringing out our goated Sableye. I set up a Swords Dance as Meganium goes for a Reflect. I riskily set up a second and take a baby amount of damage from the Petal Dance and take them out with just 1 Fly. Out next is Magnemite, forcing my hand to bring out Ion's Shaw. While a Double Crick is a pretty crappy move, it takes only 4 to take down the Magnet. Fifth and finally is Haunter, which gets soloed by Shadow Balls from Zelda Fan. I flew through the rest of the Rocket puzzles, freeing the real director in the basement of the department store. Now I move back to the radio tower, clearing out the rest of the goons and finding Baby's first Team Rocket boss, Archer, ending the Rocket takeover. I move east of Mahogany Town, catching a Lickitung named Blob Blinch. Then we head to Iced Cave, catching a little ice pig named Girl. Sorry, kiddo. We make it out of the Ice Cave pan and into the Blackthorn Fire. I've been terrified of very few battles, but this is one of them. Brambritz takes Ion's Shaw's spot for the team, and I teach both Orangutan and Brambritz Blizzard, hoping to get this win. I lead the Protean into Claire's Gyarados. He uses a Dragon Rage and I slaughter with 1 Discharge. Dragonair comes out and Bram takes them out with 1 Blizzard. I decide to roll the dice again on the second Dragonair, and I roll a 6, taking the second down. Outlast is the Kingdra, and I decide to go for the third KO. I miss the first as she uses Smoke Screen. I hit the second but miss the third, taking half of my health from the Dragon Rage. I decide to shift into the Orangutan, taking about 30% from her Dragon Pulse. I nasty plot, raising my special attack, and take another 30% from Dragon Pulse, and decide to gamble one more time. I grab my D20 and hope and pray that I hit, kill, and don't get taken out by the oncoming Dragon Pulse. I roll a nat 20, winning the fight deathless. Admittedly, that was extremely foolish of me, but I have 2 Water Psychic types and I couldn't afford to lose anyone else on the team. I go to the Dragon's Den to get my badge and a Trini named Kang. Now it's time for the fight that destroyed us last year, the fight against the 5 Kimono Girls. But this year, we will not fail. Laurent and Noah may be gone, but no one else is joining them today. I lead Zelda Fan, hoping to put the lead Umbreon to sleep. I fail, taking half my health. I switch into Killer Bee, who takes out the Umbreon with a few waterfalls, but not before losing most of its health. Next is Espeon, who outspeeds Zelda Fan and takes him to his grave, becoming our 3rd death of the run. I truly didn't think much of Zelda Fan when she was caught, but now I know I will never forget her. Orangutan comes out, killing Espeon with 2 Surfs. Out next is Flareon, and the death of Zelda Fan luckily forces Killer Bee into our first slot. 1 Waterfall immediately takes down the Flareon, winning us our 3rd fight, sending out Jolteon 4th, but it's hard countered by Ion's Shaw. He sets up double teams, but all I had to do was just land a hit. 1 Dig and 1 Strength proved to be enough, taking the KO. 5th and finally is Vaporeon, but the Protean outspeeds and lands 2 Discharges, winning us this gauntlet. I lay Zelda Fan to rest, bringing Carson up in their place. I evolve it with the Pokeathlon Firestone, becoming the first fire type on our team. Now, it's time to go catch Ho-Oh. We spent 1,000 years ascending that stupid, nonsensical maze of a tower, finally reaching the summit and throwing our Master Ball at Josiah the Ho-Oh. Now it's time to make it towards the Elite Four. I catch Derek the Doduo on Route 27 and Micaiah the Ponytail on Route 26. Finally, Bob the Donphan in the Victory Road, and that's it for today. Tomorrow, it all ends. We either clear the Victory Road, beat the Elite Four and become the champion, or we'll do this all again next year. The Kimono Girls were tough, but I should be thankful I only lost to Zelda Fan. I've now made it to nearly the end of the run with just 5 battles left. I'm pretty proud of how I left things in the short, so why don't we just watch that instead. I make it to the Victory Road, beating Comment easily and bringing us to the location of our final challenge. I stare at our box for a minute, trying to think of a way to make my team better. You know, maybe I could replace Sableye with Brambritz, but after a minute, I realize it. My team is already the best. The Protean, Killer Bee, Carson, Sableye, Ayansha, and Orangutan are the 6 best Pokemon I can use because I know them, because I've grown with them, and because I've interacted with every single one of their namesakes. So, for you 6 watching yourselves take on this Elite Four, just know there's a reason it's you 6 on my team. This is for Zelda Fan, Laurent, and Noah, but most importantly, this is for all of you. I face off against Will, leading the Protean. He fries the Xatu, Killer Bee crushes the Jinx and Executor, and the Protean comes out and ends the Slowbro and brings it home, taking out the second Xatu and beating the first Elite Four member. Second is Koga, getting his Ariados and Fortress smoked by Carson, Muck smashed by Zenheadbutts from Orangutan, and his Crobat blown out of the sky by the Protean. And finally, he gets his Venomoth slashed by Carson, winning our second fight. Now against Bruno, I fully intend to slaughter every single Pokemon with Orangutan, but an unfortunate miss against Hitmonchan causing me to take too much damage, so I bring the Protean, taking him out with just one Thunder Punch. Killer Bee takes out the Onix, letting me set up a Dragon Dance, which allows me to take out the rest of his Pokemon with Waterfalls from our King Killer Bee. Against Karen, I lead Farfetch'd, hoping to get in a Swords Dance and kill. I get my Swords Dance in, but a critical Fin attack totals my frail bird. Sorry Sableye, rest well dude. I take the Umbreon out with Killer Bee's Waterfall shortly after, frying the Murkrow with the Protean, washing Houndoom away with Killer Bee's signature Waterfall, roasting the Vileplume with Carson, and Gengar gets put down by another 2 Waterfalls, winning our final Elite Four fight. Finally, I step out before Lance and begin the final fight of the Shorts Nuzlocke. Gyarados gets instantly taken out by a discharge from the Protean, bringing in his first Dragonite. I bring out Orangutan, killing him with 2 Blizzards. Out next comes his second Dragonite, but I know if he's sending in this specific Dragonite, it's the one that has Thunder, so I bring out the Protean. I hit his discharge as he misses his Dragon Rush. I decide the best course of action is to sack the Protean, dying to a Dragon Rush but getting an absolutely crucial paralysis, allowing Killer Bee to outspeed and KO with an Ice Fang. Next is Aerodactyl, so I bring in Carson to take the incoming Rock Slide. Carson falls, but I bring back in Killer Bee to kill the Waterfall. Next out is the third and final Dragonite, so I bring in Orangutan. Dragonite misses the Dragon Rush, letting me take him out with a crucial Blizzard. Finally, last but not least is Charizard, so I bring in the Killer Bee to take the kill, but we both live with 1 HP. He spams full restores as I spam Waterfalls. He uses all 4 of his full restores and I don't get the KO. So with a heavy heart, I'm forced to sack him to bring in the full HP Ion Shasha to take him out with 1 strength, winning the fight and the Shorts Nuzlocke. We are victors. I know I didn't say thank you in the short, but I completely ran out of time. I had to re-edit and re-record vocals on that short so much to be able to squeeze all that content into just 3 minutes. I am incredibly thankful for the success of this year's Shorts Nuzlocke. You guys are the reason I came back to YouTube after my hiatus this year, and I'm very thankful to be back. Hopefully, someday, I'll actually start making money off of YouTube. That day is not today, and I'm okay with that, as long as you guys keep watching the content I make. Merry Christmas, my friends, and a very happy New Year.